My beloved child, when the appointed time reaches its destination, both earth and heaven will tremble. What you once believed to be unshakable may fracture in the blink of an eye. Do not lose the shelter of my presence, for if your soul drifts away, no fortress will be strong enough to keep you from the storm that is coming. I see you walking as though tomorrow were endless, as though time lay in your hands. Yet you do not know that every plan you build can collapse in a single destined moment. I do not come to frighten you, but to awaken your soul before it is too late. My child, many still live within a long dream, believing the breath they draw is their own, and that tomorrow is certain. Yet each heartbeat you receive is my mercy poured out. Like the time when the Israelites were led out of Egypt, they thought only of chains and despair. But when the sea parted, they realized that each step they took was not by their own strength, but by the hand of the Almighty. Therefore be watchful, for days of destiny are not far off. There are days when you feel no prayer is answered, as though your words vanish into the heavens. But I tell you, my silence is not abandonment, but preparation. As Joseph was sold into slavery, believing his fate was buried, it was in that very captivity that I prepared a position to save an entire nation. You will not grasp the fullness of my process, but you must trust that not one tear you shed is meaningless. Look and see, the world is building itself upon decaying foundations, greed, pride, and false walls. When the shaking comes, all of this will collapse. I say this not to make you tremble, but to help you prepare. For when the earth groans, those who cling to me will stand firm, but those who rely on their own strength will not be able to hold on to their souls. You must engrave this in your heart. Time does not lie in your hands, but in my purpose. Each morning you wake, each heartbeat you feel is proof of grace. Yet within that flow there are days I set apart, days not only to mark an event, but to shake an entire generation. Whoever recognizes my sovereignty over time will no longer walk in arrogance, and will not be caught off guard when the waves of destiny rise. For they know that 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by. Psalm 9:04, and everything I appoint is neither late nor rushed, but perfectly timed. Have you ever thought that you yourself are being swept along in the vortex of time, imagining you control each passing moment? You plan for tomorrow, calculate for the year ahead, paint distant visions, as if all were within your grasp. But I tell you truly, you are walking on scattered grains of sand, and a single gust is enough to carry everything away. This is the silent deception that makes many believe they rule their destiny, while their very breath is still borrowed from me. Remember that even the mightiest in history once thought they would endure forever. Kings built fortresses of stone, carved their images in marble, inscribed their names on tablets to be immortal. Yet dust covered them, thrones crumbled, and their names faded with the years. I allow time to sweep on, so humanity may see no one can seize yesterday, and no one can decide tomorrow. All is within my timetable, from the first light of dawn to the fading of night. The root of this arrogance lies in the human heart's desire to believe it is invincible. You feel your steady breath, your beating heart, and think it is a given. But each heartbeat is not born of chance. It is my gift to you every day. When you forget the true source of life, you also forget its purpose. This is why many grow weary, though they hold everything in their hands, because they have built their lives on illusions instead of grace. Therefore I call you, return and see reality with awakened eyes. Do not live like a wandering traveler on the river of life, telling yourself you can control its current. Anchor your soul in me, the one who knows the beginning and the end. When you accept that I am Lord of time, the fear of tomorrow will fade and panic over the future will lose its hold. Knowing I hold time, you will learn to walk each day in peace instead of running endlessly in unrest. Remember, I have set apart days of extraordinary weight, days the world thinks are random events, but are in truth prophetic beats within my design. The sooner you recognize this, the less you will be startled when unexpected doors open or close. Preparation does not lie in grasping the future, but in trusting me today. As you stand firm in this truth, your heart will begin to hear more clearly the signs I leave, guidance that will lead you further into the awakening needed for this turbulent age. There are moments when My signs lie plainly before human eyes, yet people pass by blind. They fix their gaze on sensational rumors, fill their ears with the noise of the world, but will not pause to hear the whisper of the Spirit. They tremble at upheavals, chase after headlines, and let their souls be dragged into a whirlpool of confusion. My child, if you are not awake, you too will be swept away, unable to tell truth from falsehood. The cause of this blindness lies in the craving for instant sensation rather than quiet. The world stirs up chaos and people feed their curiosity with fabrications. Yet I have warned whoever clings to rumor will never know peace of soul. When you let noise shape your faith, you hand your steps over to fear, and instead of seeing my hand at work, you see only a world in turmoil without escape. Therefore I remind you, return to my voice, the gentle breeze Elijah heard while hidden in the cave. It was not in the earthquake nor in the fire, but in the soft whisper that he recognized my presence. 1 Kings 19:11-12. Do not look for me in headlines that shake the earth. Learn to know me in the stillness. Only when your soul is trained in watchfulness will you be clear-sighted enough not to be deceived by the countless voices around you. Be alert, for as you learn to watch and stay awake, you will no longer panic like the crowd. They will see an event and call it a crisis, but you will discern my hand at work. You will no longer walk in fear, but in steadiness, for your spirit will distinguish between the voice that comes from me and the empty echoes. And when you stand firm in such clarity, you will become a light for others who are lost and searching for the way. My child, once awakened, your heart will begin to learn patience within my process. You will realize that I do not always act instantly, but sometimes allow time to stretch in order to prepare something greater. Those who keep watch are not hasty. Those who stay awake do not grow weary in waiting. This will lead you into the next lesson, the lesson of enduring faith, strong enough to bear delay and to recognize that in all things I am paving the way for my promise to be fulfilled. You often grow discouraged when your prayers seem to rise and vanish without reply. I know there are moments you secretly think I have forgotten that my silence lasts too long, but you must understand delay is not denial. I move according to a sacred rhythm, and if you do not learn patience, you will easily lose the fruit I have sown within the process. The reason you give up so quickly is that your heart longs for results more than it trusts my hand. Humanity always wants immediate outcomes, forgetting that what endures must be forged through trial. Just as gold must pass through fire to be refined, so your faith must be tempered in adversity. I allow you to pass through seasons that feel dry, not to break you, but to strengthen the hidden power you never knew you had. Therefore, I call you to stand firm, not to abandon the process I am working in you. As Abraham waited many years to see the promise of his descendants fulfilled, so your faith must be stretched to grow. Not seeing me at work does not mean I have ceased to act. In the unseen realm I am arranging, preparing, weaving all things, so that when you look back you will understand why the waiting was necessary. Take courage to walk each day, for every trial you face is permitted by me for a good purpose. When you are weak, that is when my power shows itself in full. When you think you have exhausted your strength, I lift you with new power. It is within this prolonged time that you learn steadfastness, patience, and maturity that no shortcut can bring. My child, if you keep a persevering faith, you will soon see that the promise never fades. Everything I ordain has its appointed hour, and when time is complete, fulfillment will come like a summer rain no one can stop. Then, as you become accustomed to walking within the process, you will understand that true preparation does not rest in the outcome, but in anchoring your heart in me. This is the turning point for you to enter the next lesson, learning to anchor your soul in my presence, where you will find steadiness before every approaching storm. When the storm winds rise, many seek refuge in wealth, power, or human relationships. They build high walls, store up silver and gold, but when the earth shakes, these fortresses are like sand castles, swept away by the waves. My child, if your heart is not anchored in me, then even possessing the whole world will not give your soul peace. Everything outside of me is but a shadow, unable to protect you in the day of trial. The reason humanity clings so easily to false refuges is fear. People fear loss, fear an uncertain future, and so they grasp for whatever can be held at once. Yet the truth is that such fear only drives them to build more fragile walls. Wealth can vanish in a single upheaval, fame can collapse overnight, and the human heart changes as swiftly as twilight fades. Without being in me, all of it will only lead you to emptiness. Return to me, for only in my presence will you find an anchor that holds. As David once wrote, "The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer." Psalm 1:8-2. You need not build any other walls, for I myself am the stronghold encircling your heart. When you abide in me, the storms may rage outside, but within your soul you may still rest. The peace I give is not the absence of waves, but the strength to stand firm in the midst of them. My child, let your soul take root deeply in me, like a tree planted by streams of water remaining green, even under a scorching sun, unshaken though the ground trembles. When you keep an intimate communion with me, you will become a light in the darkness, a source of hope to the despairing around you. You are not only called to survive the storm, but to shine in it. It is then that the world will see it is not you who are strong, but I who live within you. And when your soul is firmly anchored in my presence, you will not stand firm only for yourself, but will also become an instrument to lift others up. From you will flow words of encouragement. Weakened hands will be strengthened, and many souls will be led back to the wellspring of hope. This is why I call you not only to hold the light, but to carry that light to others. This is what will open the next step to become an instrument of hope in a time of shaking, where I desire you to rise to proclaim and to sow faith into wandering hearts. In days of upheaval, many will collapse in fear, their hearts melting like soil crumbling underfoot. Cries of lament will be heard, and false faith will reveal its fragile mask. My child, if you care only to protect yourself, the light will be hidden, and darkness will consume many souls. I do not call you merely to survive. I call you to be a witness, an instrument of hope amid ruins. It is precisely when the world is plunged into chaos that the voice I placed within you will resound more powerfully than ever. The reason many miss this opportunity is because they are bound by fear. They think they are too weak to lift others, or believe that only the holy can be my messengers. But my child, my power is made perfect in weakness. It is from the wounds you once carried that I will let streams of mercy flow to heal others. The trials that once brought you to tears will now become your testimony, lifting those who are drowning in despair. Open your mouth, my child, for I have placed words of life upon your lips. Do not think you must speak something grand. Sometimes even a simple word spoken in love can rescue a soul from the darkness. When you pray, chains will be broken. When you declare hope, light will break forth like the dawn after a long night. This privilege I give you is not for boasting, but so that you may become a river flowing through parched land. You must understand this moment is not merely about the world's safety, but about your very calling. I have chosen you not only to stand firm, but to shine and to testify. As you step forward with courage, those around you, family, friends, even strangers, will recognize that hope still remains. You will never know how many souls are waiting for just a small ray of light from you to find their way back to me. And your obedience will become the seed of a new season of revival. So, my child, walk in faith, and let me use you as a lamp in the night. Do not stay silent when the world needs a word of encouragement. Do not hide the light when so many are lost. I am with you. I place my strength within you, so that even when the shaking comes, you will still be an instrument sowing faith and love. And as you live out this calling, you will discover that the shaking is not an ending, but the beginning of a new era, where light triumphs over darkness and where hope never fades. My child, listen deeply, and let these words sink into the depths of your soul. The moment I am speaking of is not some distant fantasy or a story told to frighten you, but a reality drawing near with every breath, every dawn and dusk. Do not look at tomorrow as just another page in the calendar, for that day will open a new chapter, both fierce and glorious. It is not merely an external event, a headline on cold screens, but a battlefield within each soul, where light and darkness contend to determine the direction of a whole generation. You and millions of others are stepping into that moment, Whether you realize it or not, it comes like dawn after a long night. None can stop it. And that is why I call you with tenderness, yet with strength, so that you will not be afraid but know you can stand firm. I know you have grown up trusting the familiar, believing that tomorrow will be like today, that life flows as gently as a river that never changes its course. But my child, this world is not a still painting. It is moving, it is trembling with unseen waves discerned only by the awake. People are caught up in plans and goals and counting fleeting pleasures, forgetting that this very breath is not self-created, this heartbeat not controlled by their own hand. I do not say this to take away your confidence or your joy, but to help you see more clearly the essence of life, that all is gift, all is grace. And only when you realize this, can you truly prepare for what is coming. Picture yourself as a sailor on the open sea. When the waters are calm, it is easy to believe the ocean is just a glassy mirror, but the sea has never been dead, never ceased to stir. There will be storms, there will be nights of pitch darkness, and the wise sailor is not the one who hides, but the one who prepares, who learns to grip the oars, who discerns the direction of the wind. So it is with you, your soul is on a journey across life's vast ocean. What is coming may overturn, may shake, but if you are prepared, you will not be drowned. This is why I come to you with this message, not to sow fear, but to hand you a lamp so that you can see the way through the night. Do not think I do not understand your weariness or the fear in your heart. I have watched humanity walk through many ages, through light and darkness, through the heights of compassion and the depths of selfishness. I see people planning their future as though they controlled time. I see them relying on wealth, power, knowledge as though these were walls that would never fall. Yet one passing wind, one unexpected event is enough to bring them crashing down. You are not entirely different. You too once believed this. But I am calling you now to open your eyes to understand that true strength is not in what you hold outwardly, but in the awakening within, in the connection to the eternal of which I am the source. Look around you, the world is shifting. Behind the smiles on social media are weary hearts. Behind the glowing cities are wandering souls. People think they are living but are only drifting, swept along by invisible currents of habit, fear, and desire. What is coming will be like a great rainstorm, exposing what is built on solid ground and what is merely castles of sand. Do not be afraid when I tell you this. I do not speak to make you panic, but to awaken you, to draw you out from the crowd asleep. You have been given the chance to prepare to stand firm, to be one of those who light hope in the midst of chaos. Understand that the preparation I speak of is not hoarding food or wealth, not building higher walls or buying weapons, but training the soul, cleansing the darkness within, stirring up compassion, patience, faith, and courage. For these are the true armor when the moment comes. You may lose everything outwardly, but if your soul is bright, you will still stand. Conversely, you may possess everything outwardly, but if you are empty within, even a gentle breeze can topple you. I want you to become a person of inner strength, of a courageous heart, so that when you look around, you will not be swept into the fear of the crowd, but will be a steady point for others. I have given you every breath, every dawn, every step, not so you would live a life concerned only for yourself, but so that you would become part of a greater design. Tomorrow's upheaval is not only a trial, it is also an opportunity for humanity to awaken, for you to examine yourself, to know who you truly are, where you stand, and what you are called to do. When you realize this, you will see tomorrow not as a shadow, but as a doorway. And you will step through that doorway, not trembling, but with faith, with light in your eyes, with the readiness of a soul prepared. My child, remember that everything in this world may change, but my love for you never changes. That love is the surest foundation, the place where you can anchor yourself in the storm. When you hold on to this, you will not fear. When you believe that each heartbeat is grace, you will not be shaken. You will stand in the midst of the storm and still be at peace, because you know you are not alone. You are not just a small creature in a vast universe you are part of. My heart, you are the child I watch over each day, and because of this you can lift your head to tomorrow, whatever it may bring, knowing you are not abandoned. Do not let fear paralyze you. Let it be a reminder to prepare. Do not let the world's indifference make you forget the voice within. Listen, open your heart, look deeply inside yourself. What is coming will not only reveal what is outside, but will test the heart, the faith, the courage. And I believe you can overcome because I know you better than you know yourself. I have seen the good seeds within you even when you have not. I have prepared this path for you even when you have not realized it. And now I reach out, my hand for you to take so that you no longer walk alone. My child, this is the moment for you to choose to keep sleeping in the illusion of temporary safety or to awaken and prepare for what is eternal. I do not force you, I only invite. The door stands open before you. Beyond it are not only trials but light transformation, a future no longer built on fear but on love and awakening. You can be the one who carries that light if you are willing. Believe it, for it is true. And when that moment comes, you will find yourself prepared not by your own strength but by love, by grace, by the very act of listening to this call today. And when tomorrow arrives, the light of grace that has long lingered hidden in the secret corners of the universe will not merely be a fleeting flash, but will spread like a sacred cloud covering the entire world. Its presence will not be something vague or difficult to understand. It will be clear, powerful, and undeniable, like thunder echoing from ancient mountains, like fierce waves striking the shore, like winds rising from the depths of the earth carrying prophecies from distant generations. Everything has been mapped out, everything arranged according to an unchangeable plan, and tomorrow all shall be revealed. The nations of the world will not be able to ignore it. They will be compelled to face the truth that I still exist, that I have always been here, and that I have heard every prayer, every sorrow, every whispered question humanity has carried into the dark, the unanswered pleas they have borne in their hearts through the years. Surely you too have wondered why doors never opened, why battles seemed to have no end, and why your prayers felt unable to rise higher, unable to reach the holy places toward which they were directed. You have wrestled with these questions, sought answers in books, in teachings, in unfulfilled dreams, but now you will understand that none of this was rejection or silence on my part. It was simply that the appointed time had not yet come. The answers, the messages, the events you have awaited will no longer be delayed. When tomorrow arrives, everything will be unveiled, and you will see that all which seemed impossible, all that was hidden, has had its reason, its sacred purpose, a grand purpose that has always waited in the shadows for the right moment to emerge. What you have felt as delay has in truth been perfect preparation, a preparation not easily achieved, meant to bring you opportunities and understanding you could not yet imagine. You have reached out to me in this way, stood at the crossroads of your life, seen signs and movements you believed might be guidance from a force you could not fully comprehend. And I, with all my love and patience, have heard it all. But now it will no longer be mere small signals, but profound shifts, great changes that will come upon all. Listen closely, my child, for this will not be just a passing moment, but the beginning of a long journey, a journey that once begun, nothing can stop. A wave will break forth, a torrent will sweep away all that no one can restrain. And within that surge, the systems humanity has built for so many years will begin to tremble, will shake like towers overtaken by the sea, will collapse like empires once mighty. This is inevitable. Structures built upon greed, selfishness, and self-interest cannot endure. When nature speaks, when the laws of the universe are enacted, all that does not align with the principles of justice and harmony will bear their consequences. This is not a curse but a necessary cleansing, so that all may return to their rightful place. Humanity may cling to what is past, to outdated values, but in the deeper vision of the universe, such things are but fleeting illusions. What endures, what will stand through time, are the true values, the foundational principles of love, compassion, and truth. Therefore, when this grace is revealed, it will not be merely the display of my power or majesty, but an invitation, an awakening. It is a message that if humankind does not change, if humankind does not recognize that life is not merely a race to accumulate and to grasp, then what they have built cannot last forever. History will testify to this. And if you do not change, you will see, even within your own life, that relationships, connections, and foundations you trusted may no longer stand. For no matter how hard humanity tries, they cannot resist the consequences of what they themselves have created. All that is unjust will be overcome by the justice of the universe, the integrity that all existence in this world must obey. Those who hoard, those who exploit the weakness of others, will not hold their advantage forever. Though for a time they may seem powerful, in the end, they will be undone by their own greed and selfishness. And then, after all these upheavals, when everything settles again, a new world will be formed. A world where humanity will understand that love, sharing, and justice are the eternal values, the foundation of every enduring society. Then every door will open, every path will become clear, and humanity will be free to follow that light, guided by the universe and its unshakable principles I have set in place. And then you will see that all you have asked, all you have sought, will no longer be questions but complete, clear, and perfect answers. The fog and confusion you once felt will be gone, replaced by peace and trust in a brighter future. My beloved child, the time approaching is not only the transformation of the earth and sky, but the deep awakening of the human spirit. When the forgotten voices rise like overflowing streams, when the earth trembles like labor pains, this is not merely the image of collapse, but the call of rebirth. The turning of all things is never random. Every tremor, every sign is a reminder that a new era stands at the threshold, an age where truth, light, and faith will be the foundation. Look upon these signs not with fearful eyes, but with a discerning heart, for I have given you the ability to distinguish between light and darkness, between the true voice and the echo. Keep watch, not to cower before every omen, but to guard your heart from being swept away by rumors and agitations. The world will rise in turmoil, but you must learn to hear the stillness within where I am present. The preparation I call for in you is not a stockpile of provisions or fortified walls, but an inner life strengthened by faith and rooted in me. When you anchor your soul in my presence, you will become unshakable amid outward storms. Tempests may topple great pillars, fire may consume lofty walls, but nothing can move a soul rooted in my peace. You will be like an ancient tree standing firm in the gale. Leaves may fall, branches may break, but the deep roots cannot be torn out. I call you not only to be safe, but to become a source of light, a flame guiding those still lost in darkness. The light within you may seem small, but trust that when the storm grows, that flame will blaze brighter, not by your power, but by mine within you. Remember, you are not chosen to hide in fear, but to rise in hope. You are not a victim of the times, but a herald of the new era. When you hold fast to faith, you not only save yourself, but become an anchor for trembling souls. People will come to you as to a lighthouse in the night sea, not because you are the strongest, but because you have allowed me to be your strength. All that I speak to you today is not to frighten you, but to awaken the fire within you, the fire that is my light. Let it blaze, let it warm those who are cold, let it guide those who are blind. When you do this, you will realize you are not merely surviving the storm, you are with me creating the dawn of a new age. There will be moments when you feel alone, small, before a world shifting too fast, but remember, I will never forsake you. Every tremor you see is not meaningless ruin, but purification, preparation for a new foundation. I am removing the old to clear the way for the greater to come. Do not fear when you see walls fall. Do not despair when familiar orders vanish, for this is how I renew the world. As winter clears the path for spring, today's severity prepares for tomorrow's blossoming. You are called to look beyond, to not be trapped by what eyes see and ears hear, but to trust in what I have promised. You are a spark in the night, a heartbeat in the awakening of humanity. Do not underestimate the power of a small light, for it can lead thousands out of darkness. You are not doing this alone, for I am within you. When you are weak, I am strength. When you are weary, I am rest. When you are lost, I am the way. This is why I call you to anchor your soul in me, for only then can you stand firm in every trial and bear witness to what is coming. You are not an accident, not an outsider. You were chosen from the beginning to be part of this story. Do not doubt your worth. Do not fear. Your flame is too small. In my hands that flame can rise into a great fire, illuminating a darkened sky. Live as one who knows dawn will come, as one who has heard my promise and trusts unshaken. Let every breath, every step, every word become a testament to that hope. Do not let the world define you by fear, but let me shape you with courage. Do not let the storm determine your path, but let faith guide you. When you live this way, you will not only stand firm in the storm, but become a refuge for others. You will see that every trial is not a burden, but an opportunity for the light within you to shine clearer and stronger. And when that moment truly arrives, when the buried voices rise together, when the earth and sky quake with power, you will no longer tremble, for you will know this is not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. You will stand amid the upheaval as one forewarned, one prepared, one with light to guide. You will become a living witness that my presence is real, that my promise never changes. And in that very moment you will understand that every waiting, every patience, every hidden preparation has not been in vain. You are helping to bring forth the birth of a new era where darkness no longer reigns, where truth and light are exalted. My child, keep my words in your heart. Let them become your strength each day. Rise with an unfading hope, with a heart aflame and eyes that look beyond the present darkness. Do not be troubled when you find yourself different, for it is precisely that difference which marks the seal of your calling. Do not fear when you must walk alone, for you are never truly alone. I am within you, I go before you, and I will complete the work I have begun in you. And when the dawn of a new age breaks, you will stand there not merely as one who has survived, but as one who has kindled the lamp of hope for an entire generation. And when that moment draws near, you will see all things unfolding before your eyes like a vast painting of which you had only glimpsed a few scattered pieces. I will guide you step by step, not through the spectacle of noisy miracles, but through movements quiet yet powerful, like the hidden currents beneath the earth that silently sustain life. You will realize that your hands, your words, your gaze have all become instruments of peace, of light, of a faith that transcends ordinary understanding. When you speak, it will not be mere sounds escaping, but wisdom flowing like cool water in a parched desert. When you stand firm amid the storm, it will not be by your own strength, but by the power I am pouring into you, so that you might be a refuge for broken souls. When mercy overflows within you, even for those who once opposed you, that is when my power is most clearly revealed, not in outward triumph, but in the mighty gentleness of a transformed heart. Do not fear the wounds imprinted from the past, for they are not burdens meant to crush you, but the marks of a refining journey. Every trial you pass through is not meaningless. They are like fire, purifying gold, like the hands of a master craftsman shaping each line to complete a work of art. Not a single tear you have shed is lost to the void. They have seeped into the soil to germinate into resilience, into compassion, and into the wisdom you carry today. Those moments when you thought I was absent were in truth the times I was enveloping you with a presence your senses could not yet perceive. Like the unseen breath sustaining life, I have been there closer than anything you could touch. It is these very experiences, your falls, your tears, your whispered prayers in the night, that are shaping you into one who can bear a measure of my glory without being crushed by it. For only those who understand the cost of surrender and humility can lift and lead others without pride. When you step into the time of new movements, what you will feel is not confusion, but a deep trembling within your soul, like the resonance of a string long tuned for a melody. While others around you may waver amid upheaval, you will lift your head not to display your strength, but because you know the source of your peace. My voice will not thunder like a storm, but whisper through the chaos like a gentle breeze finding its way into a soul. Peace, my child, do not be afraid. I am here. In that moment, the memory of my words spoken to you today will anchor you amid the flood of panic and despair. You will stand not to draw attention to yourself, but to be a support, a light for those lost in the shadows. But my child, this has never been for you alone. The illumination you have received is not a lamp to hide, but a light to be placed high, to give light to the whole room. I call you to share what you know, not with the boasting of one who holds a secret, but with the heart of a guide who has walked through the night. You need not argue or prove. You need only live speak and reach out so that those around you, family, friends, and strangers, may find hope. Around you are weary souls, scarred hearts, people standing at the edge of despair, unseen by anyone. They are searching, though they do not know what they seek. They thirst for a word, a glance, an action enough to believe there is still a way out. And you are the instrument I have placed at the right place and the right time to answer those silent cries. In the days ahead, events will pour down like heavy rain upon dry ground. Some will panic at the sight, having never seen such things. Some will close their hearts in fear, but you, having been prepared, will not tremble. You will become a haven of peace for the drifting, like a shelter opened in the storm. You will not need long speeches. Your presence and the light shining from you will be enough to sustain them. Then you will understand more deeply my words. My power is made perfect in weakness. You will see that what seems like weakness in you, gentleness, compassion, humility, is in truth the greatest strength to transform others. Not oppressive power, not a voice shouting over cries, but the tender strength rooted in love, the patience born of faith will reach the closed heart. Do not think yourself small, that your words and actions are meaningless in the world's chaos. Just as a drop of water can awaken a spring, a single spark can pierce the densest darkness. I do not require you to be extraordinary as the world defines it. I only ask you to be honest, faithful, and willing. It is precisely your smallness that magnifies my power. It is your weakness that becomes the soil where my strength takes root. When you realize this, you will no longer carry the burden of having to do something great. You will simply walk each step under my guidance, and what unfolds around you will surpass all your calculations. And as you share what you know, do not fear being misunderstood, mocked, or rejected. I endured all of this, and I am with you in every contemptuous glance, every malicious rumor. Remember, it is when you love those who curse you, when you open your heart to those who turn away, that you most resemble me. There is no waste in true love. Though it may not be returned immediately, it plants seeds in hearts that will one day bear fruit. And you will see some whom you thought would never change will one day come and ask you about the source of the hope you carry. I call you to step out, not to become someone great in the eyes of the world, but to be a hand reaching for another hand, to be a witness to a love that does not change. The world will shake, but that love will not. You will be used as a seed sown into barren ground, as a flame lit in a cold room. And just when you think you are empty, I will continue to pour in. For this journey does not rely on your strength, but on mine within you. Prepare your soul as a farmer prepares the field before the rains, as a sailor prepares the sails before the wind. You cannot control all that will come, but you can anchor yourself in the peace I give. You can learn to hear my voice amid the noise. You can train your heart not to grow numb to the pain of others, yet not to be drowned by it. You can learn to stand in the light, to become its reflection for others. And as you do, you will see day by day, moment by moment, I am working through you, not only to transform others, but to transform you, to make you your truest self, my child bearing, my image reflecting, my glory, through a life simple, yet radiant. You will never be alone on this journey. Though feelings may wane and the path grow dark, I am there beside you, guiding you. What you are stepping into is not a heavy assignment, but an adventure of faith, a journey of love. Walk on, my child, and let me act through you as naturally as the breath you take, gentle, yet essential, quiet, yet powerful. One day, when you look back, you will see it was never a chain of random events, but a story written with purpose and love. And you will smile not because everything became easy, but because you have become the person I intended you to be. A light in the night, a hand that lifts a word, that ignites hope, a heart brimming with love. And it is in such moments, when you are still long enough to listen, that you will feel my breath weaving through every corner of your life, not as thunder to frighten, but as a soft breeze touching the thirsty soul, lifting you from the weight of confusion and leading you toward a light that never fades. I do not place in your mouth heavy words to push others into despair, but I plant within you a sweet spring where every word you speak may become a drop of living water for parched hearts, a warm flame in the cold night of wandering souls. Do not hold back, do not let fear choke. Grace, for every word of love you release, may be the lifeline that draws someone back from the edge. You cannot yet see the full outcome, but I see. You do not grasp the whole movement of time, but I am at work in the unseen realm where every moment beats with the rhythm of eternity. Some hours that seem ordinary hold the seeds of deep change. Some dawns that appear no different from yesterday are in fact the first morning of a new season, opening the door to a destiny long prepared. And there are heavy days like stones when you must face the darkness within yourself to learn, surrender, and trust. My child, I do not see you only in the present. I see both the beginning and the end. I am not bound by history, yet I step into history at moments I choose to touch lost souls. All these intersections are not random, but my fingerprints upon time inscribing sacred rhythms in the world's chaos. Like a song without words, I weave melodies, both hidden and resounding, so that when you open your heart, you hear not only a call, but the embrace of unchanging love. Therefore, do not fear the days I choose, nor the hours heavy as mountains, for within each beat lies my gentleness and wisdom. When I open a new season, it is not a breaking, but an unfolding of the plan of love where the old is cleansed, so the new may bloom. Sometimes I come like breath soft as morning dew upon the meadow, touching your deepest wound to heal it without your knowing. Sometimes I come like a storm, sweeping away what you have clung to but not rooted in, me teaching you to stand upon a firm foundation rather than fragile illusions. You will see after the storm the sky is bluer, the winds gentler, and you stronger, for in the shaking I am reshaping you into the original image I inscribed. I do not abandon you in those trials. I walk with you through every dark valley to lead you to quiet pastures. You think destiny is a rigid stream, but destiny in me is a dance of freedom and grace. It does not crush you, it lifts you up. It does not bind you, it sets you free. Remember that every time I place my word in your mouth, it is a living word, not given to judge, but to sow seeds of hope. Every sentence you speak in love becomes an echo in eternity, surpassing the limits of language and reaching into the very roots of hearts in need of light. You cannot fathom the power of a simple word when it is born out of my love, but I know it, and I will cause it to multiply. Therefore, do not hesitate to speak what I place within you. Do not let fear steal from you the chance to save a soul. Every drop of water from the spring of grace seeps into dry ground. Every ray of light drives out darkness. This is how I work, silent, yet forceful, gentle, yet relentless, like a river weaving through rocks, smoothing every jagged edge until it shapes a green and living valley. And when you wonder why there are days I set apart hours heavier than all the rest, you are touching the mystery of time. I am the one who created time, yet I am not bound by it. I have seen all things before they come. Within time I have placed holy intersections, places where heaven and earth meet, where my will breaks through the noise of human plans, where what is hidden is revealed and what is delayed is released. These are not merely special days on a calendar, they are the heartbeat of eternity sounding within the limits of days and months. They are doorways opening within the ordinary through which you may glimpse the greater tapestry of my grace. Sometimes they come like the morning light, gentle, quiet, dissolving the remnants of the night. Sometimes they come like a storm, fierce, overturning everything unstable within you. Yet whatever form they take, they are born of my wisdom, foresight, and unshakable love. And it is in these moments that you are called to be a bearer of restoration, not doom, a sower of mercy, not judgment, a voice that lifts, not pushes down. You are chosen not because you are perfect, but because I desire you to taste the joy of becoming a vessel of grace. When you stand in those appointed days, you will see how all things align in wondrous ways. What once delayed is now released. What once hidden is now revealed. What once seemed meaningless becomes a perfect piece in the picture I am painting. You will understand that these moments not only change you, but also alter the flow of history around you, for I am weaving you into a plan greater than yourself. You will realize that every step is not aimless, but a dance to my rhythm, and I invite you to dance with me, not staggering in fear, but moving freely in grace. Let your heart open like soil to rain. Let your lips speak words no longer your own, but echoes of my love. For once you do, you will not only speak for today, you will be sowing seeds for eternity. A loving word can outlast generations. An act of forgiveness can change the history of a family. A cry of hope can awaken life where death seemed final. This is the power of the days I have appointed, the moments I have chosen, the words I place within your mouth. Do not despise the small, for in my hands the small becomes miraculous. Do not fear the great, for in my love the great becomes gentle. Do not let the darkness deceive you into thinking it is stronger than light, for light, even the faintest glimmer, is enough to scatter the densest night. And so, my child, walk forward with steadfast heart. Speak what I place within you with gentleness, yet without wavering. Believe that the appointed days do not come to make you tremble, but to reveal my glory and my love. Let your words become streams of healing, seeds of hope, the heartbeat of eternity, in a world longing for something greater than itself. And as you do, you will no longer merely speak. You will become a bearer of love, the very love that wrote time, that framed the beginning, and that has foreseen the end. Open your mind and heart to receive the deep things I am revealing to you. Understand that I do not act as humans do. People think that if something has not yet happened, it is delayed, or that I have forgotten. But I do not forget, nor am I slow. I move in absolute perfection, like the flawless rhythm of the universe, like the orbit of stars, none of which falls from its place before its appointed time. Every word I speak, every prophecy I give is not a stray sound lost in the void, but a sacred rhythm, a flowing stream connecting heaven and earth, the things that were and the things to come. What seems sudden to you has long been woven into a larger design. Only when the veil is pulled aside do your eyes behold the whole scene. Think of the seasons. No harvest appears without a sowing. No flower blooms without a season of hidden growth. Humans only see the moment the seed breaks the ground and call it sudden. But in the darkness of the soil, the seed has long been sprouting, watered by tears of prayer, by sweat of faithfulness, by invisible battles of the soul. What you call surprise is but the climax of what has been prepared. Silent seasons, days when nothing seems to happen, are the foundation for breakthroughs. Therefore, do not mistake silence for absence. Do not think I am slow. For while you wait, I am at work arranging all things within my boundless wisdom. And when the time is full, the event will reveal itself. Remember that everything under heaven has its season, like a river with floods, and drought like soil that rests before it revives. When you see something happen that you call sudden, it is the unveiling of what has ripened. Like a fruit falling, the onlooker thinks it random, but ripening has been happening within day by day. So it is with what I decree. It never comes early or late, but at the right hour, when heaven and earth, human hearts and circumstances are ready to receive. You ask why I choose certain days. Because in my design, time is not a meaningless string, but a melody with rhythm, with highs and lows. Some doors open only when the song of earth and heaven harmonizes, when the elements of creation together bear witness to what is about to come. I do not act on whim, I act in harmony. Some hearts must be softened so that when grace pours out, they will not reject it. Some peoples must be positioned so that when the event happens, they will not be swept away, but stand in their appointed place. Even wind, water, fire, and earth, those things you think lifeless, must testify, must join in rhythm with my plan. All is part of a living tapestry, where every stroke has meaning, every detail rests in the hands of the Creator. The fulfillment of prophecy is not merely about an event, it is about convergence. Imagine a great symphony. A single note is not played simply because the musician strikes a key, but because the whole orchestra is in accord, because the conductor lifts his hand at the right moment, because the heartbeat of the audience is listening. So it is with prophecy. It requires the preparation of instruments, the softness of hearts, the readiness of the world, the convergence of elements, so that all sound together in harmony. If even one is not ready, the music is offbeat. Yet in my wisdom all is arranged, so that at the appointed hour the sound rings out, not early, not late. Look back at the turning points of history, and you will see this clearly. You see a revolution, a movement, a global event rising seemingly out of nowhere. But in truth, it is the fruit of years of accumulation, of silent prayers of souls standing firm, unseen, of invisible battles your eyes do not behold. Think of the seasons of change for humanity, when light bursts forth after darkness, when a people breaks free from bondage, when a truth is suddenly proclaimed. Behind that moment are years of preparation known to no one. My hand weaving the story in silence. You only witness the moment of unveiling. I see the whole journey from beginning to end. My child, what I want you to learn is not only patience in waiting, but trust in my perfection. Do not let long days without visible change breed doubt. Do not think I have forgotten my promise. Do not mistake delay for failure. Every moment has value. Every circumstance is shaping you, shaping the world, so that at the appointed time what I have spoken will be fulfilled completely. You do not need to push nor fear. You only need to keep your heart soft, hold your faith, and prepare yourself as a ready instrument. Therefore, when you hear me speak of coming days, do not fear. See it as an invitation to step into the process of preparation. Let your soul be refined like gold in the fire, so that when the event unfolds, you will not only endure but shine. Do not close your heart in fear. Do not rush to find human solutions. Learn instead to listen, to trust, to walk to my rhythm. For I know when you are ready. I know when the world is ready. I know when the prophecy will thunder across a sky already heavy with clouds. My child, you are living in such a moment now. All may seem still, but the unseen realm is moving. Prayers are rising, battles are raging in darkness, hearts are being positioned. And when that moment comes, you will see that what seemed sudden was only unseen until it opened. You will understand that I have never been slow, never hasty, but only acting in the absolute perfection of love and wisdom. Let this be etched deeply within you. My time is not human time, but my time is always perfect. I let no word fall to the ground in vain. I speak nothing without preparing it, and when you learn to trust this, you will have peace. You will no longer panic when the world trembles, no longer doubt when events unfold, no longer fear when the future opens. You will stand firm, for you know all things have been woven in my hand, thread by thread, day by day, until the moment of glory is revealed. And my child, when you look back at the winding paths of your life, you too will see this. The winds that shifted direction, the upheavals that made you feel as though you had lost everything, were in truth moments of preparation, positioning you to become the person I desire you to be. Nothing is meaningless. Not a single tear falls without my seeing it. Not a single prayer rises without my hearing it. Each of these is a seed buried in the soil, and when the season comes, they will bloom into fruit in the right time, in the right season. My child, keep your heart tender and trusting. Learn to see delay as a sign of preparation, to see silence as the foundation of something great, to see waiting as the lesson of faith. When you live with this posture, you will no longer be swept along by the hurried rhythm of the world, but will instead walk in the eternal rhythm of mine. And when events unfold, you will not panic, but will recognize, this is the moment, this is the hour, this is the prophecy fulfilled, not early, not late, but at the perfect time I have appointed. This is what I want you to understand today, so that you will not fear, so that you will not doubt, but so that you will be ready, so that you will know that in all things I am at work, so that you will recognize the slowness you think you see is but the precision of the eternal rhythm. And so that when that hour comes, you may say, I knew I was prepared, I trusted. Remember, my child, that everything I do has its appointed time, and not a single moment occurs outside the plan I set before the foundations of the universe. When the sea parted to open a way of deliverance, that moment did not happen by chance. It had been decreed long before the cries of panic rose to the heavens. I heard them even before a word formed on their lips. And when the stone was rolled away, when life triumphed over death at dawn, that instant had been ordained long before the first human drew breath. It was not randomness nor disruption beyond foresight, but the sign that I am carrying out my unshakable plan. Kingdoms will rise and fall like waves surging and breaking upon the rock. Revivals sweeping through cities, inventions altering the course of human civilization, none of these escape my sight, none lie outside the time I have set. Every shift, every rise and fall is inscribed in the timeline I hold. And so it will continue until the great unveiling reaches its final chapter, when all that was hidden will be revealed, and all plans formed in darkness will be illuminated by unfading glory. But know this, my child, the days I have appointed are not always wrapped in the kind of glory human eyes can perceive. Some days arrive clothed in sorrow, in turmoil, in the collapse of what mankind has built with sweat, effort, and pride. People see the ruin and tremble, thinking I have abandoned them, that I have turned away. But no, even in those days a promise is growing, carrying hope like a seed of life hidden beneath the winter soil, awaiting its moment to break forth into the light. I never allow shaking without purpose. Every tremor, every dismantling, is to establish something unshakable in its place. Like a potter who breaks a flawed vessel to shape a new one more perfect, like a builder who tears down an old wall to erect a stronger house, so do I. The destruction is not a sign of a meaningless end, but a herald of a new beginning, of a firmer foundation being laid. For I know what can stand against storms, and what is but dust easily scattered. And I love you enough not to let you remain standing on sinking sand, without building you a foundation that endures. Look back at history and ponder. How many times humanity seemed to drown in utter darkness, yet from the ashes rose new movements, new truths, new opportunities never before imagined. Out of pain was born resilience. Out of loss arose compassion. From ruins emerged a longing to build something better. This is the law I have set. For shaking is not to destroy but to awaken, not to erase but to clear the way for rebirth. And you, in your own journey, will also see this unfold in your life. Dreams you cherished may vanish, works you poured yourself into may collapse, relationships you thought unbreakable may slip away. You will feel shattered, you will ask why I let it happen. But even in those moments, my child, I am at work laying a new foundation for you, preparing something that, if you could see it now, would end your mourning and anchor your hope. The days I appoint bring both light and darkness, both joy and sorrow. But darkness cannot swallow light, sorrow cannot extinguish hope. For the promise I have sown is fixed, and that promise will bring forth fruit at the appointed time. I do not allow shaking without meaning. Every collapse carries the seed of something more enduring. You may not understand now, but one day you will look back and see my hand guiding you all along. Be patient, be trusting, for patience is the fertile soil where faith takes root, and faith is the lamp that lights your path through the darkest nights. I do not promise you that the way will always be smooth, but I promise my hand will never leave you, my gaze will never forsake you, and my plan for you is never to harm but to build, to give you a future and a hope. Do not fear the shaking, my child. Do not fear when the familiar fades, when what you once relied upon collapses. Know that this is the sign that I am at work. Stand firm, open your heart, for it is in these moments that you will learn true freedom, true dependence on me, and you will see my power made perfect in your weakness. As the seed must die to sprout, as dawn follows the long night, as a song rises only when the heart is released, so will new life rise within you after every loss. I am the one who does not change amidst all change. I am the sure foundation when everything else falls. And all that I do, though you may not yet understand, leads to that which cannot be shaken, the kingdom of righteousness, of love, of truth. This is the promise growing in the pains of this world. This is what I am bringing forth quietly, yet surely, until the great unveiling reaches its final chapter. Beloved child, the prophetic timeline does not move as humans imagine. It is not a road strewn only with roses, filled only with light and blessing, but a path of refining where fire tests gold, where the wind separates chaff from grain. In this process, the soul is forged, faith is strengthened, and the heart is purified to be wide enough to hold what I am preparing to give. Understand that blessing and refining are not two separate realities but two streams flowing together to form one river. The peace I give is not the fragile silence of the world, but peace beyond all fear, a peace that can only be born after the soul has undergone deep awakening. This awakening is not easy, but it is holy, like the very promise I have planted in your heart. Many of my children have longed to see the day of fulfillment, the day when prophecy becomes reality. Yet it is they who tremble at the process leading to it. Remember, the seed does not sprout only under the gentle warmth of sunlight, but also in the decay of the soil, in darkness and dampness, in breaking open so that new life may rise. That process is the sanctification of the promise. Every trial you endure is not punishment, but gentle hammer strokes shaping you into a useful vessel. Every season of waiting, though it seems long and meaningless, is actually creating in you a moment to receive the birth of destiny. Your very heart is where that destiny is being formed, like a mother carrying life in silence yet full of hope. That silence is not abandonment but quiet preparation for something great to come. Do not think the days passing are without value. Each day is a brick laid building the firm foundation for the house of your future. Every trial, every tear, every prayer, however small, is contributing to something that will shake the world. You cannot yet see it all, but I can. I see the whole tapestry while you only glimpse the threads. You do not know that what you are experiencing today is precisely what I am using to prepare you for tomorrow. And when that day comes, the day when heaven's decree touches earthly reality, you will realize that not one sacrifice, not one waiting, not one pain of yours was in vain. The labor of years, the sighs in the dark, will give birth to moments that shake the world. What is hidden today will become tomorrow's echo. You ask why I reveal this to you. Because I do not want my children to walk as blind wanderers in the dark valley, but as those who know that dawn is near, even while the night is deep. You are not called to walk in blindness, but to walk in the light of revelation. The deeper the night, the brighter the dawn. You must learn to see not only with your eyes, but with faith. Faith is not a fleeting feeling, but an anchor holding you steady when the storm rises. Let that faith become your eyes so you can see the dawn approaching, even while everything around you remains in shadow. My child, the process you are going through is my gift. It is not an obstacle, but a bridge leading you to where I want you to stand. It is not a circle of futility, but an upward spiral lifting you step by step, so you may see farther, stand higher, and receive more. I tell you this so you will not despair, so you will not give up, so you will know that everything you endure has purpose. Receive this process with gratitude, even though it is hard, for it is the sign that you are on my path. I do not lead you down the easy road, but I lead you down the sure road, the road that leads to life, to freedom, and to glory. Do not let fear dim the light of hope. Do not let weariness cool the flame within your heart. Do not let the noise of the world drown out my voice. I know you are tired. I know you have questions. I know you long and yet you fear. But it is precisely in that weakness that my power is made perfect. You do not need to be strong in order to be chosen. You are chosen so that you may become strong in me. You do not need to be perfect to be loved. You are loved so that you may be made perfect in me. You do not need to know the whole future to take the next step. You only need to trust me, for I am already in that future, and I will lead you step by step. As you learn to trust me in the process, you will discover a strange freedom. You will no longer be unsettled by delays, for you will know that every moment carries its purpose. You will no longer fear the trials, for you will know they are refining fires. You will no longer sink into sorrow during seasons of waiting, for you will understand they are the womb where destiny is being formed. You will become like a farmer who patiently waits for the harvest, knowing the seeds that have been sown will never be in vain. Each day you will walk with a fresh faith, a renewed hope, and a new peace. And your very life will stand as a witness to others that my promise is true, my process is holy, and my outcome is glory. I reveal these things to you not merely to comfort you, but to prepare you. I do not want you to be only an observer, but a participant. I do not want you to simply hear about change, but to become a vessel of it. You will no longer walk as one blind, but as one who sees, as one carrying a torch in hand. You will walk through darkness without stumbling, for the light within you will illuminate the path. You will speak words of hope where others despair. You will become a sign that dawn is near, even while the night remains thick. You will be a living reminder that waiting is not wasted, that process is not neglect, but preparation. My child, when you understand this, your heart will be lifted. Fear will be transformed into strength. Doubt will be transformed into steadfastness. Pain will be transformed into precious jewels. You will no longer see the process as a burden, but as an honor. You will no longer long for it to end quickly, but for it to be complete. For you will know that every step draws you closer to the promise. And when that day comes, the day when the decree from heaven touches the reality of earth, you will stand there not merely as one who waited, but as one who has been prepared, as one who carried hope and now gives birth to a new reality. You will understand that it was all worth it, that everything you endured contributed to that moment. I call you today to embrace the process with an open heart. Do not fear refinement. Do not resist awakening. Do not avoid the season of waiting. Let each day become an opportunity for your faith to deepen, for your love to widen, for your hope to grow resilient. Let me shape you. Let me prepare you. Let me lead you. For I have seen that dawn, I have known that moment, I have arranged all things so that you may stand firm in that day. You do not walk alone. You do not wait alone. You are walking this process with me, and I who began the good work in you will bring it to completion on the day of fulfillment. My beloved, I want you to reach the very depths of time's meaning, not merely as numbers ticking across a clock face or days turning on a calendar, but as a sacred stream connecting visible moments with invisible promises. Time to me is not bound. It is not an impersonal chain of events slipping by. It is a great tapestry woven by my hand, in which every thread and every knot is intentional and appointed. When you see this, your heart will no longer be shackled by fear. You will no longer view the days ahead as a burden pressing down, but as a doorway opening into what I am doing. You will begin to see that ordinary moments, a word spoken, a meeting, a small shift, can carry holy appointments, quiet signs of the greater work I am accomplishing. And when you notice them, you will realize they are not meant to confuse you, but to anchor your faith in me, the one who never changes. Many will mock the prophetic voices, will despise the signs before them, claiming all things remain the same, that history flows unchanging like a river. But you must know nothing remains the same while my breath still moves. Tomorrow and the days beyond will bear witness that I have never withdrawn my hand from this world. I am not a distant observer, cold and removed. I am the one still participating, still turning, still preparing a revival amid the ruins. I am the one who sets seasons and shifts times, who raises up kings and also removes thrones, who opens the heavens and shakes the earth, who breathes life into the places where death has reigned. You will see what the world thought immovable begin to tremble, not for destruction, but to overturn false foundations and rebuild the true. Therefore, my child, I speak these words so that you may stand firm when all around you shakes. When the dawn breaks and the prophetic clock strikes a new hour, many will not be prepared. Some will curse the shaking because it topples the walls they built on sand. Some will cling to false hopes and rootless promises. Many will chase voices that are not mine, enticing but empty, glittering but leading to nothing. But you, my child, must learn to stand still like a watchman awake in the night, like a helmsman holding the rudder steady through the storm. You must learn to listen, not to collect information for yourself, but to receive guidance breath by breath from me. You must remember that this was foretold, that my words are not given to make you tremble, but to make you steadfast, not to frighten you, but to grant you clarity in a world gone blind. The prophetic timeline is not a chain to imprison you, nor a harsh schedule to torment you. It is the path I have laid out to lead you through the valley of shadows into the place of dawn. It does not come to make you obsessed, but to open your eyes so that you may understand your position and your role in the great picture unfolding before humanity. For this is not only about nations and rulers, about upheavals in politics or history. It concerns you personally, a person being prepared to be a witness, a bearer of light in the night. When you understand this, you will cease comparing yourself to others. You will stop believing you are too small in the vast tapestry. You will see that even your silent presence can become a steadying point for someone in their panic. View time as a river. To the naked eye, only the surface flows, but beneath it strong currents are moving. You are living in an age where those hidden currents are beginning to surface. The events you see in the news, on the streets, in people's stories, they are not scattered fragments but pieces assembling into a larger picture. I give you signs not so you may boast of knowing ahead, but so you may be humble and prepared. You are called not to judge others, but to lift them up and point them to the true source of hope. And as you do, your faith will become like a steadfast anchor, keeping you from being swept away by the winds of confusion. Do not fear the mockery of others. Do not fear being called a dreamer. I have borne contempt, and those sent before you have borne it too. But no ridicule can shake the truth or extinguish the fire in the heart of one who knows to whom they belong. It is within that mockery that your faith is refined, your patience expanded, your mercy deepened. And it is the gentleness within you when facing those who scoff that will be a sign of my power, a power that does not destroy but restores, does not coerce but persuades, not loud but eternal. My child, let these words be engraved upon your heart as if on stone. Tomorrow may tremble, but you already have a foundation. The seasons may change, but you know the one who holds them. When the call sounds, do not panic. Stand firm, listen, look beyond what your eyes can see. Remember that I am preparing you not so that you crumble under the weight of time, but so that you may become a witness of the eternal, a bearer of hope that transcends history. When all things change, you will realize that faith is not merely an idea, but life itself. It is the anchor that holds you, the lamp that lights your path, the stream that renews your soul. And know this, as you are learning to perceive time as I see it, you are also being transformed to become a living sign for others. No long sermons are needed, no grand declarations. The way you live, the way you stand firm, the way you love, will be the strongest testimony. Others will see the peace within you amid chaos, and they will come. They will ask you about the source of that strength, and you will be able to point them not to a formula, but to a living one, the one who holds the times and the seasons, the one who has called you and is calling them too. Mark this, my child, I give you these words not to make you afraid, but to assure you that you are not lost, not to confuse you, but to make you clear-sighted, not to drown you, but to lift you up. The signs, the shifts, the sacred appointments hidden in ordinary days are all working to prepare you. Let your mind not be scattered by the world's noise, but attuned to my whisper. Let your faith become not just words, but breath itself, the very heartbeat of your soul. And in every moment you will realize that I am not distant, I have not withdrawn my hand. I am here, acting, leading, transforming you and this world for my purpose. Each prophetic day is not merely an abstract marker in the flow of time, but it carries within itself two layers of meaning, one vast enough to embrace the destinies of nations and of all humankind, and one intimate enough to touch each heart, each soul, each breath of every person. In such a day, decisions are made in international councils, policies are shaped in halls of power, and tremors ripple through economies and social structures. Yet at the same time, my whisper echoes deep within the hearts of my children, to remind, to uphold, to guide their small yet vital steps. Just as I have set the paths of the stars, I also order your steps. No movement without meaning, no moment without intention. What may appear tomorrow as a raging wave is in truth being guided by me to touch your heart, to help you see where you stand and where you are called to move forward. My grace overlooks no one. My workings pass by no heart that turns toward me. Lift up your head. Do not bow it beneath the weight of fear or the confusion of uncertainty. For if you only look down, you will see only the swirling dust driven by the winds. But when you lift your eyes, you will see my hand stretched out over all that you have called chaos. You will discern that in the very place the world names crisis, I am arranging each fragment, shaping each line, revealing the greater picture I prepared from the dawn of time. Do not let the noise of anxiety drown out my gentle call. Do not let the aftershocks of uncertainty rob you of the peace I have sown within you. For where the world sees turmoil, I see the chance to display my sovereignty. Where humanity names it random, I name it the working of destiny. Where they see broken pieces, I see a new beginning. Look beyond the horizon of tomorrow. Do not stop at the boundaries your natural eyes can perceive. Let your spirit stretch outward and behold that my hand still governs, still appoints, still protects, just as once I spoke a word and the stars came into being and continue to be guided through the endless expanse. As I set the orbits of the planets and command the galaxies to revolve to an unfailing rhythm, so I command the days of your life. No morning rises outside my will, no evening falls without my consent. And each such day, though it may seem ordinary to you, bows before my loving plan like a single note within the great symphony resounding from eternity. I want you to understand that the events to come are not merely stories of the outer world. They move through economies, governments, and social foundations, but they also remind you that I am entering the history of your own life, touching the choices you are about to make, affirming the calling I appointed for you long ago. What I give you in those days is not something you must fight to obtain. It is a gift I place into your hand, so that wherever you stand you may receive it and step higher. You are not left behind in the movement of history. Rather, you are part of my greater story. You are not swept away in the whirl of upheaval. Rather, you are being trained by me to stand firm in the storm, to bring light into darkness, to be a voice of restoration amidst the cries of fear. Remember, you are not a victim of time. You are the child of the one who created time. You are not a wanderer lost in history. You are the bearer of the prophecy of the one who writes history. And when you grasp this, fear gives way to faith, uncertainty gives way to hope. You will see that even when the world trembles under winds of change, you can stand firm because you stand upon an unshakable foundation. You will know that no matter how high the waves rise, my hand still holds you secure, leading you through the deep waters. Do not let the noise outside suffocate the call within. Do not allow human analysis to obscure the light of my wisdom. The world may explain events with the language of science, politics, or economics, but you will look deeper and see my fingerprints upon all things. You will realize that each time history trembles is a time I am opening a new door, not only for nations, but for every person willing to listen and follow. You will understand that it is precisely in the days that seem most chaotic that my grace is most present, my power most radiant, and my love most near. Just as I command the galaxies to turn in the heights without a single planet losing its course, so I command each day of your life, each step you take, each breath you draw. Nothing lies beyond my power. No event escapes my providence. Each day bows before my will, not as one oppressed, but as a note in the chorus freely sounding to complete the melody I am composing. So, too, when you attune yourself to this melody, you will find you are no longer lost, but part of a greater, more beautiful, more enduring story. Therefore, my child, do not tremble before what is to come. Do not let your eyes see only crisis. Let your heart perceive the working of the one who spoke a word, and the stars were born. Do not let your ears hear only the noise of the world. Let your soul hear the whisper of unchanging love. Do not let your heart feel only the weight of uncertainty. Let it beat to the rhythm of hope. For I, the one who charted the course of the stars, am also the one who charts your path. And that path, whether through valleys or over mountaintops, leads to the place I have prepared, where glory and peace meet, where grace and truth are woven together. You may ask, how will I know I am in the midst of a prophetic day? I tell you, you will sense it not with your natural eyes, but with the stirring of your spirit, as when the wind shifts to announce a new season. You will notice small signs you once overlooked, now standing out clearly. You will feel the gentle yet steadfast urging within, calling you to advance, calling you to prepare, calling you to trust. This is the moment I am ushering you into a new chapter, not to bewilder you, but to transform you. Do not fear that transformation. It does not come to diminish you, but to make you fuller. It does not come to make you small, but to make you grow. It does not come to close you, but to open you. It does not come to break you, but to remake you. You will find that within this transformation you become lighter, stronger, freer. You will learn to walk not by sight, but by faith, not by your own strength, but by grace, not in fear, but in love. And as you live this way, you will become a living sign of what I am doing on the earth. You will be one who carries restoration into crisis, who sows mercy in dry ground, who kindles hope in the night. You will not only witness my workings on a global scale, but also feel them in each decision, each step you take. And this union between the global and the personal, the cosmic and the intimate, is proof that I am not a distant creator, but a near Father, the One, guiding each breath you draw. So, my beloved, keep lifting your eyes to me. Let your heart open wide to the days I appoint. Let my wisdom rise above all noise. Let my love fill the empty spaces of fear. Let your faith stand firm, though storms may rage. And as you do, you will see not only a greater picture unfolding, but yourself standing at its center, neither abandoned nor forgotten, but upheld, transformed, and sent forth. For just as I have directed the paths of the stars, I am directing each day, each hour, each minute of your life. And each such day, each such hour bows before my will, so that one day you will look back and see that nothing was random, no moment was wasted, but all were my footprints leading you to the place I promised. Listen deeply to these words. My child, as you would listen to the wind moving through open fields, as you would hear drops of water falling in stillness. For this is not only a reminder, it is an invitation leading you into a deeper reality where time and eternity touch. There are days unlike other days. They were set apart, marked before you were born, before the foundations of the earth were laid. They are sacred thresholds, gateways linking past and future, where what has been pauses and what will be begins. When you pass through, you cannot return as before, just as a seed once sprouted cannot return to its husk. The world around you will likewise shift, transform, no longer remain as you have known it. Yet amid that flow, amid that upheaval, remember the one unchanging thing. My love remains whole, unfading, unmoved. My promise does not sway with the weather. My purpose cannot be hindered by any human or power. You are invited to step into these days not with timidity or fear, but with faith, with reverent awe and gratitude, with the expectation that what is coming is not to destroy, but to fulfill. Bring a soft heart ready to say to me, "Here am I, Lord, use me," in the unfolding of your plan. For the moment you speak those words, you are no longer merely a spectator, but an instrument in my hand, salt and light in a world in transition. Tomorrow will come, my child, and with it the movement of prophecy, like the wind before a storm, like the light before dawn. But do not fear. Do not let your heart be gripped by worry. Remember, the handwriting history is the same hand upholding you. The voice that summons nations to account is the same voice speaking peace to your soul. The one who set each star in its place, who appointed each day and each season, has also chosen you, not by accident but with purpose, that you may stand firm, shine forth, bear witness, and believe. Imagine yourself as a pilgrim reaching the threshold of the temple. You have walked many paths, sometimes thorny, sometimes wearying, sometimes feeling you had no strength left. But now you stand at the threshold behind you, the familiar road before you, a new land. You cannot go back, yet you have not yet entered. This moment is the moment of the set-apart days. You must decide, will you fear or will you advance? Will you take my hand or will you go alone? My child, I invite you forward. I invite you to cross that threshold with courage and trust, for I am there waiting. You do not step into emptiness. You step into my plan, the very plan you were woven to fulfill. There are gates that only open when your soul has become tender, when your heart is ready to release what is old, to welcome what is new. This is not merely an event, but a transformation within you. As you step through, you will realize that what once frightened you no longer holds power. You will see my light shining into the hidden corners of your being, making you new, making you strong, making you radiant. You will understand that those set-apart days were not to take from you but to give to you. They do not only change the world around you, they change you from within, so that you may become a living witness of my love in a world that is shifting. My child, do not take these words lightly. Every word I speak carries the rhythm of heaven, the weight of eternity. When I speak of tomorrow, I am not speaking of a random date on a calendar. I speak of the movement of prophecy, of an intersection between what I declared from the beginning and what you are living now. That tomorrow is not merely to warn you, but to prepare you, to let you know you are neither abandoned nor forgotten. You hold a place in a picture far larger than you imagine. You are a brushstroke in the masterpiece I am completing. Imagine my hand as that of a potter, shaping every detail, every line of the vessel. Each turn of the wheel, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, is intentional, forming a perfect work. Those set-apart days are the moments when my hand rests especially upon you, molding you, shaping you. It may hurt, it may feel incomprehensible, but as you are placed within that plan, you will discover you are being prepared for something greater. You will no longer be as you were, just as clay is never the same after it has passed through the fire. My beloved child, I want you to know these set-apart days are not for you to strain in your own strength, but to yield yourself to me. Let me lead you, let me lift you, let me use you. When you say, "Here I am, Lord," you place your life into the wisest, most loving hands. Fear will begin to melt away, replaced by a peace that surpasses understanding. Your heart will open rather than close. My light will soothe every darkness within you, and you will become a witness, a torch of light, a voice of hope in the midst of chaos. Do not forget, the one who speaks to you today is the very one who laid each stone of the world's foundation, the one who has known all things beforehand. No event surprises me. No threshold catches me unprepared. No set-apart day exists without my presence. I have chosen every day, every moment, as I have chosen every star in the night sky, and as I have chosen you. You are not an accident. You are not a number. You are a name called forth, a soul beloved. You are chosen to stand firm, to shine, to testify, to believe. You are chosen to be a bridge between old and new, between darkness and light, between despair and hope. Step into these days not with fear, but with reverence. Reverence like one standing before the vast sea, knowing your smallness, but also knowing you belong to the Creator. Wait as one watching for dawn, knowing night will pass. Open your heart like thirsty ground, ready for rain, prepared to say, "Here I am, use me." For when you are ready, I will use you. I will place you in the right position. I will make you the answer to the prayers of many. And when tomorrow comes, when prophecy moves, you will no longer tremble, for you will see the handwriting history still holds your own. You will hear the voice that calls nations to account, also whispering into your heart, "Peace be with you." You will see my glory amid upheaval, and you will know that what I have promised cannot be shaken. My purpose cannot be stopped, and my love remains, covering you, keeping you, guiding you. My child, this is your moment. This is the word I long to engrave on your heart. You have been chosen. Chosen not to flee, but to stand firm. Chosen not to hide, but to shine. Chosen not only to hear, but to testify. Chosen not to doubt, but to believe. And as you live in that truth, you will cross every threshold. Though the world may change, you will stand upon the unchanging foundation, my love, my promise, my purpose. This is my promise to you today and forever. Beloved one, come closer. Do not fear this nearness. I have waited for you in the silence, in the beating of your heart, in every breath you draw amid your weariness. I long to speak life over you, a life unlike anything you have known, unlike the fragile breath of this world, but abundant life. Life like rivers, flowing through dry land, weaving into every cracked place of longing within your soul, filling every emptiness nothing else can fill. I will pour into barren places, heal the hidden wounds you have tried to conceal, wipe away every trace of fear, awaken every seed of promise I planted in you from the beginning. Those seeds may have slept for years in darkness, seeming dead, yet I have kept them as a farmer patiently waits for the rains. You have walked through darkness and were not consumed. This is the sign of my hand covering you. You have heard the storms howl, felt the weight of surging waves, yet your spirit has not been broken. You think yourself weak, but you are stronger than you know, for that strength is not your own, but mine, the one who never leaves you. Remember, your tears are never wasted. Your scars are not marks of failure, but proof that you have walked through fire without burning, through waters without drowning. I see it all, and I love you more than you can comprehend. Now listen to me. I am not only speaking of what has been, I am speaking of what is to come. Your future is not imprisoned by what you have endured. It is not framed by your past. My word never returns void, for it carries power like rain falling to the earth, never returning without watering, never failing to bring forth new life. I bless you not only with things seen and heard, but with my very presence. You may not see me, but you will sense me like a gentle breath upon your neck, like warmth in your chest in the cold of night. I am the surety that you are never alone in any season, whether you walk through shadowed valleys or stand upon radiant peaks, I am there. I give you peace no one can take away. This peace is not the absence of trial, but my presence within it. Not the trembling of nations, not the whispers of fear, not the chaos of a world that has forgotten my name. None of these can dislodge my peace within you, a fortress encircling your heart. This fortress is not built of stone or cement, but of my word of the truth. I speak of the love I hold for you. It guards your mind so that though storms arise, you rest in the stillness of my spirit. Picture a traveler crossing a barren desert, thirst, parching their throat, feet cracked and weary, heart fainting. Suddenly an oasis appears ahead, cool water bubbling from the ground, green shade arching overhead, fresh air filling their lungs. This is what I do within your soul. I turn dry places into gardens, wastelands into dwelling places. I do not merely give you enough to survive, I give you life in abundance. I do not only heal outward wounds, I touch the deepest places, those you think no one sees, and there I sow restoration, hope, and new courage. You may think every promise I have spoken has faded. You look around and see only fragments, unfinished dreams, things left undone. But listen to me, the seed of promise has not died, it only sleeps. And I, the faithful farmer, have appointed a season for it to rise. Not one seed I have sown is meaningless. I do not forget. I do not abandon. I do not change my intent. In the right season, at the right time, I will call it forth, and you will see what you have long awaited, springing up like new shoots in spring, defying the long, cold winter. My child, let my peace become your breath. Let my presence become the room in which you dwell. Learn to rest in me, even amid the world's noise, for that is the secret to standing firm when all else is shaken. You will hear storms roar, but within you will be stillness like a quiet lake. You will see others tremble, but your heart will be steady as a mountain. You will walk through seasons the world fears, yet you will hold a peace the world cannot comprehend. This is the sign that you belong to me, the sign that you are protected, warmed within my embrace. I speak these words not only to comfort you, but to awaken within you a new awareness that you are destined for more than fear, born for more than mere survival. You are called to live fully, to reflect my peace in a chaotic world. You will be a spring in the desert, a lamp in the night, not because you shine of yourself, but because I am within you. Everything I give you is not only for your fullness, but so that you may become a sign, a living testimony for others who are searching. Believe this, my child, I do not promise an easy road, but I promise myself on that road. I do not promise no storms, but I promise peace within the storm. I do not promise everything will happen as you wish, but I promise all things will work for your good and for the fulfillment of my word. And when you look back, you will no longer see abandonment, but footprints beside your own, every wound touched by me and turned into marks of glory. Come closer to me, beloved. Not so that you may be bound, but so that you may be free. Not so that you may be weakened, but so that you may be strengthened. Not so that you may lose yourself, but so that you may find yourself again in my light. Each time you draw near, I will speak life over you, clothe you with blessings like a new garment, pour my peace into you like an unending river. and you will go forth changed, carrying the fragrance of heaven, the stillness the world cannot grasp, and the love the world is longing for. Beloved child, when I bless your hands, it is not merely a blessing for visible works, but a profound testimony that I have chosen you as a co-laborer with me. From now on, whatever you touch, so long as it aligns with my eternal intent, will become like seed sown in fertile soil. It will take root, grow blossom, and bear fruit in its season. The efforts you once considered meaningless, the labors you thought forgotten, will now flow like an unbroken stream of grace. Everything you do will carry purpose, no longer a frantic race without direction, but a journey with a beginning, a course, and a destination. The fruit of your obedience will not only be success in the eyes of the world, but transformation within your heart and in those whose lives are touched by yours. You will behold the results of the seeds of faith you have sown, the tearful prayers you have whispered, the small acts of faithfulness you have offered, all of it converging into a great harvest no one can deny. I will guide you in wisdom, not merely through outward instruction, but through the gentle leading within your spirit. I will be the whisper in moments of confusion, the peace when you must choose the light, illuminating the dead ends that seem to have no way through. I will teach you when to sow and when to reap, when to speak and when to be silent, when to step forward and when to stand still. You will learn the art of discernment, knowing when an open door is for you to enter and when it is for you to look and learn, knowing when a closed door signals waiting and when it protects you from what is not yours. Under this guidance, you will no longer chase the world's measure of success, but will walk to the rhythm of my grace, where you will recognize prosperity not as the world defines it, fleeting treasures, passing status, but as the prosperity of a soul-satisfied grace, overflowing from within, favor so abundant you cannot measure it, and opportunities prepared by my own hand for you to enter as one entrusted. I also bless your mind, beloved child, to be renewed daily in my truth. Your mind has been veiled by the mists of doubt, the lies of the world, the deceitful whispers. You are unworthy, you have been forgotten, you are beyond my reach. Those words are not from me. They are chains binding your soul, making you forget who you are in me. Now I declare the light of my word shines forth, and every lie dissipates as darkness before the dawn. My truth does not come as a mere concept, but as a fresh wind sweeping through your mind, erasing the traces of doubt, silencing the noise of fear, and leaving clarity, peace, and freedom. I proclaim over you that you are chosen not by chance, but by my predestined love. You are deeply loved, not with shallow affection, but with steadfast love surpassing time and space. You are eternally held in my hand. No power can snatch you away from it. I will anoint your ideas with wisdom from above. The ideas, dreams, and longings within you will no longer be imprisoned in vagueness or fear, but will be ignited and illuminated by my fire. You will see what once appeared as shadows become clear paths, once obscured, now brightened. Your discernment will grow sharp as a double-edged sword, not to wound, but to divide truth from falsehood, the passing from the eternal, the merely good from the very best. You will learn to choose not by feeling alone, but by truth. You will no longer be drawn to opportunities that only glitter on the surface, but will recognize what I have truly prepared for you. You will know which voice is mine and which is merely the echo of human desire. You will walk not in blindness, but in clarity, with confidence, not in yourself, but in the one guiding each step. As your mind is renewed and your hands are blessed, you will see your life as a new song. All your work will no longer be mere striving for results, but acts of worship. Every idea you conceive will no longer be for impression, but become a vessel of grace. Every step you take will no longer be for safety, but a journey of commissioning. You will discover that true prosperity is not having more, but becoming more. More in wisdom, more in compassion, more in the capacity to love, more in steadfastness amidst change. True prosperity is when your heart is wide enough to receive and to give, when your mind is clear enough to discern, when your hands are strong enough to lift others, and when your soul is rooted so deeply in me that nothing can shake you. Beloved child, let my words be etched into your heart. See your hands as instruments of my love, not merely to build for yourself, but to build for my kingdom. See your mind as a field of truth where every seed I sow will sprout into life-giving ideas. See your very life as a vineyard I tend, caring for each branch, each leaf, each fruit, that in due season you will bear clusters fragrant with sweetness. Trust that everything I promise will be revealed in its appointed time, not early, not late, but exactly when I have ordained. You do not need to grasp or hurry, for I am the keeper of time. Your labor will not be empty, your efforts not wasted, for I am the one who turns what seemed meaningless into meaning, every tear into rain for the soil, every sacrifice into a living seed. When you enter this truth, you will see yourself differently. You will no longer look at yourself through the lens of failure or neglect, but through the lens of my choice and love. You will no longer ask, "Am I enough?" for you will know I am your sufficiency. You will no longer doubt your purpose, for you will realize that this very process, the blessing, the renewing, the guiding, has been preparing you to become the one I have destined. You will no longer merely wait for the promise, but live in the promise, walk in the promise, and become a living testimony of my faithfulness. This is the blessing I give you today, the blessing upon your hands, upon your mind, upon your every breath, that you may know you are not merely existing but sent, not merely working but partnering with heaven, not merely thinking but receiving ideas from the fountain of infinite wisdom. Walk in this truth, beloved child, with gratitude, with boldness, with eyes fixed forward. The harvest will come, the fruit will appear, the promise will be fulfilled. And you will know that all I speak today is not mere comfort, but a revelation to live, to act, to become what I have spoken. My child, let these words sink deep into your soul like rain into dry ground, like a gentle breath reviving a weary heart. I bless your inner being not with fleeting pleasures or fragile emotions that circumstances give and take away, but with a joy deep, enduring, and unshakable. This is not a shallow outward laughter, but an inner delight arising from knowing who you truly are in me. As your roots sink into my love and grace, that joy will become an ever-flowing stream, never running dry, though seasons change. In the midst of trials, in the face of contrary winds, you will still smile at the days ahead, not because you know what will happen, but because you know who holds your future. You will realize your future is not a game of chance, not ruled by randomness, but held securely in the hand of the one who loves you without limit, who knit you together in your mother's womb, who never abandons or forgets you. When this truth becomes your foundation, the heavy shadow of despair will no longer linger over you like darkness over a field at dawn. I clothe you with a garment of praise, as a father places a new robe upon his child, so you may know you belong at home. This is not mere symbol but power. When you wear the garment of praise, you will no longer be weighed down by complaint, fear, or bitterness. Praise will replace lament. Gratitude will replace resentment. And I crown you with a joy that never fades as the crown of an heir, so you may know you are no longer a wandering soul, but my beloved, my daughter, my son in my kingdom. This crown is not forged of fading gold or silver, but of grace and peace, of the steadfastness of eternal love. When you wear this crown, you will lift your head high, no longer bowed by shame or fear. You will see the world through new eyes, the eyes of one loved, chosen, called out of darkness into light. I bless your spirit to grow in intimacy with me. This is the greatest blessing, for from intimacy flows all strength, all peace, all wisdom. You will no longer know me only through rumor or others' words, but personally, deeply, as you know your own breath. You will hear my whispers in the quiet, not the noise around you. You will sense my guidance in stillness as a sailor reads the wind on a calm sea. And in this intimacy you will feel my presence in a way that lifts the burdens of the world from your shoulders, not because the burden vanishes instantly, but because you know you no longer carry it alone. You will know a peace that surpasses understanding, a peace not dependent on everything going your way, but on your being in me. As you live in this closeness, you will walk as a child who knows their Father not in distance or coldness, but in nearness that transforms everything. It changes how you see yourself, no longer small or powerless, but valued, loved, and empowered to live a meaningful life. It changes how you see others, no longer through envy or judgment, but with compassion and respect, because you know how deeply you have been forgiven. It changes how you see the road ahead, no longer as a fearful fog, but as a journey with your loving Father beside you. My child, I do not promise you will never face trials, but I promise that in every trial you will have a joy the world cannot take. I do not promise you will never weep, but I promise that amid your tears you will feel my hand wiping them away, and there will come a time when those tears become rain that brings forth fruit in your life. I do not promise every door you desire will open, but I promise I will open the doors you need and close the ones that would harm you. And in all these things I give you joy, not the shallow joy of the world, but a deep, steadfast joy like an underground spring that never runs dry. As you learn to live in that joy, you will become a sign to others. People will look at you and wonder why in the midst of upheaval you are still at peace, still praising, still smiling. You will not need to prove anything. Your life itself will be the evidence. The crown of joy on your head, the garment of praise on your shoulders, the peace in your eyes, all will become a silent yet powerful language through which others recognize there is one who is with you. And they too will long for the source you drink from, the source you know is me. My child, I invite you to receive this blessing every day. Do not think it distant or meant for someone else. It is the gift I give you today. You need not wait for everything to be perfect to rejoice. You can wear the garment of praise in the valley, crown yourself with joy in the midst of battle, for I am there with you. And as you walk this way, each step will grow lighter, each burden will weigh less, each tear will become a seed for a new harvest. Do not forget, my child, I do not bless you to keep for yourself. I bless you so you may be a blessing to others. The joy I place in you will overflow like a brimming cup, spilling over to touch the parched hearts around you. The intimacy I build with you will make you a refuge for the lost. The garment of praise and the crown of joy you bear will become an unspoken invitation to those bound by despair. They will see in you a living testimony that there is one who upholds, who transforms, who gives unfading joy. And at last you will realize that everything I give is not to help you live an ordinary life, but to transform you, to shape you into the very image I have destined. You will become a child who knows their Father, walking in the freedom, peace, and strength of love. You will become the story I am writing, the song I am singing, the painting I am revealing for the world to see. And through it all, that unshakable joy will be your lamp in the dark, your song in the night, your strength to go on without weariness. This is the blessing I give you today, the blessing I place within your heart, the blessing I invite you to live and to share. Receive it, wear it, crown yourself with it, and walk in that joy. For you are mine, and I am yours. For you are loved with a love that never fades, and you are called to be light in a world thirsting for hope. And as you live in this truth, you will know the burden has lifted, the darkness has fled, and unshakable joy will be with you forever. Now, my child, lift up your prayer to me with all your heart. Almighty God, who has called me out of darkness into marvelous light today, I offer to you all my weariness, all my worries, and every wound within my soul. May you cover my nights with peace so that my dreams are no longer haunted by fear but filled with your holy presence. Grant that my heart may rest in you, be renewed in you, so that when dawn breaks I may rise with fresh strength, new hope, and a deep desire to walk the path you have set before me. O Good Shepherd, you know every breath I take, every thought that stirs within me. I ask you to hold my destiny in your hand as a father clasps the hand of his child. No power of darkness can uproot what you have planted within me. Grant me steadfast faith to wait for the harvest you have promised, that I may not grow weary when the seed still sleeps unseen, but trust that you nurture it day by day. Heavenly Father, you have spoken a word that never returns void. Bestow upon me the strength to walk steadfastly through every mountain and valley. When trials surround me, help me remember that your peace is like a fortress guarding my mind. Let your word become my breath and the very heartbeat within me, so that I no longer measure hope by the shadows but gaze upon the unchanging light of your presence. Almighty God, I thank you for each night of restful sleep and each morning when I awaken with renewed strength. I give thanks that darkness no longer torments my dreams, for you have covered my dwelling with peace, an unseen yet unshakable fortress. I know that every breath I draw is your gift of grace, and I lift up my gratitude with a heart full of thanksgiving, faithful. One, I am grateful that I was not created merely to endure, but to reflect your glory. I thank you for placing your light within me, making me a bearer of hope for others. I give thanks that you transform every wound into a testimony, every tear into rain that refreshes, and every waiting season into a lesson of faith. Guardian of my soul, I offer thanks because all that you do leads to what cannot be shaken. I thank you that your peace has become my breath, that your word has become the rhythm of my heart, and that my future rests secure in your hands. I praise you because you never leave unfinished the work you have begun in me. I lift this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we may build a strong and faithful community.